Solana and Crowder. Right now, Hawk will be joining us hopefully any minute now. Running a little late, but had to take care of some stuff. See Juice.
Somebody out, Juice.
Hey,
somebody owe Hawk some money, and Hawk said, "I got to go get my bread."
Hey, bro, I think it's me, man. I think the last 2 times I've been on, he hasn't had his ass on here, man. So, I'm taking it personal now, bro.
He coming to get you, Juice. What if he give you we were talking about it earlier, Juice. What if he give you the crazy though? That crazy look. Gets out the car, with the tattered shorts on, the little Air Monarch Nikes, eating some Elmer's glue.
That crazy, Yeah. I haven't seen that side, but hey, I don't want to see it. It sound like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy 113 pounds.
We're gonna talk with legendary Dolphins wide receiver O.J. McDuffie. He is also co-host of the Fish Tank podcast. You can find it anywhere that you get your podcast. Really quickly, I'll remind you, the Renaissance Festival is back. We've got 4 packs of tickets for you to go and visit with the lords and ladies. Take part in axe throwing, archery, tests of strength, and more. Enjoy turkey leg and visit the Pickle Man for your chance to win. Go to WQAM.com and enter the Pickle Man.
Who are you going to visit?
The Pickle Man.
Ooh, I need me a pickle right now. I've never said that.
With a turkey leg in your hand.
Nah, Juice, I'll eat me a damn turkey leg now.
What? Yeah, right. Little foil on the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
that's it.
Legendary. I have to read that liner again for another air check, or we're not laughing at the Pickle Man. Legendary Miami Dolphins wide receiver O.J. McDuffie. He is joining us now on the Hochman and Crowder Show. Juice, we have so much to talk with you because I know on your latest episode of the Fish Tank, and it's been a couple weeks, but you and Seth actually had a tribute to Zach Thomas, and I heard it, and it was awesome. And Zach actually joined our show, and I know you and Crowder both have so much love for ZT, so I want to talk to you about that. Obviously, Tua, I don't think we've talked to you since we found out he's doing Jiu Jitsu. Chris Greer has made it pretty evident that he wants he's riding with Tua, so we got to talk about that. But first, I kind of want to get into some of what happened in the NFL yesterday. Lamar Jackson, he gets franchise tagged with the non-exclusive franchise tag, and then Daniel Jones gets a bleep load of money yesterday. And we were talking about it yesterday. So let's start here with Lamar Jackson. Kind of your initial thoughts of him getting that franchise tag. And now obviously we found out that the Dolphins, according to Jeff Darlington, are not pursuing Lamar Jackson. So it seems like they're riding with Tua. So just your thoughts on that, where obviously the Dolphins can't even go after Lamar because they don't until after the NFL draft. But do you like this, the idea that Tua can stay healthy and be the franchise quarterback moving forward?
Well, Lamar Jackson, I mean, it just goes to show and goes to prove that Lamar Jackson just don't grow on trees out there, man. You know what I mean? It's the bottom line. Everybody, we talked a lot about different things. You can go back to Deshaun Watson days when he was out there and everybody's like, why would you spend all this? If you got a guy that's a potential top 5, top 10 quarterback in this league, you got a hell of a chance of winning a lot of football games. I mean, it's the most important position in sports. So when you got a guy that's been an MVP, that's taking his team to the playoffs year after year after year, and you got to go out there and you got to spend that dough, and on top of that, you not only have to spend that dough, but you got to, get compensated with a non-exclusive tag on him if somebody else wants to spend that dough, and that's big compensation for non-exclusive. 2 first-round picks, and then you still got to negotiate a deal with him. That's tough sledding right there. So I'm okay with us, staying pat. With Tua. I thought that when Tua's healthy, we were one of the best teams we've had in over a decade, in my opinion, offensively especially. So I think that they're fine with that. We also got a guy, Skylar Thompson, that's a credible backup that, that has some very valuable experience, when he got in there. 2 regular season starts, a playoff start, and almost won in Buffalo. I mean, nothing spectacular on the football field, but it seemed like the team did rally around him like that. So, I mean, the quarterback position itself, I mean, damn, Channy, I'm 5'11", man. If I could have been 6'3"-ish, you know what I mean? I know I had a hell of an arm. You know what I mean? I had some scoots. I had enough scoots. I mean, I was in the 4.4, 4.5 range. Man, oh, man. And then if I'd been born, 20 years ago, I'm still mad at my mom for all that. You know what I mean?
Yes. And Juice, you talk about the quarterbacks, bro, and the money. Daniel Jones got 40. Geno Smith just got 33, 34 a year, 3 for 103. Like, those numbers you're seeing with these quarterbacks who love Geno Smith to death. Daniel Jones is what it is. That's a lot of money. And now they're worried about this 5th-year option for Tua. It sounds like you're on the Tua train with Chris Greer and McDaniel, where the hell with Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, all those names been out there, Juice, and the Dolphins have seemed uninterested in all of them. So if you're on this Tua train, don't you sign him before May 1st to that 5th-year option, which is only $23 million?
Exactly right. That only thing is right. I mean, when you look at those numbers, those other guys are getting, don't let Tua go out there and have a 12-5 season. And then you end up having, chunk up and bring out 40 million yourselves. I think that you have to ride that trend, and you have to ride these rookie first round pick, deals as long as you can. And I think that you go ahead and do that and see if he's worth that 40. He's still in a prove-it position for us. We saw the first few years under the last administration, but now we saw the last year under Coach McDaniel, and we've seen that it could work. So give me another year, but go ahead and pony up that money and not get hit, with a sledgehammer, later when he goes out there and does that thing.
And Juice, have you ever done Jiu Jitsu? Because you were a small dude getting slammed to the ground by real men back in real football. Do you think Jiu Jitsu might have helped you?
You know what, man? For some reason, man, I knew how to fall, bro. You know what I mean?
but Juice, you got to my point. Can you teach a guy how to fall, Juice? Is Jiu Jitsu gonna help him fall different?
Man, I don't know, man. Stop, drop, and roll, tucking. I don't know what it is, man. I mean, it seems like they're trying everything, bro. When some things aren't working, I mean, you try everything. I'm gonna tell you what I wouldn't have told anybody about it though. I'd have kept that all to myself, dog. There was nobody in the world would have known that that's what I was up to figure out how to fall, man. But I mean, in today's world, though, everything gets out there quicker than you want it to be out there. So it probably would have gotten out no matter what, man. But I mean, I didn't know that was a way of learning how to fall. That was new to me. I thought about a bunch of different things, maybe some wrestling, some things. I don't know, but jiu-jitsu, okay, give it a shot.
I'm going through it right now with a 2-year-old, Juice. I know how to teach somebody how to fall because I do it with babies. That's why.
Yeah, it's top heavy, man. That's a hell of a job. They're top heavy as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my babies got big heads, Juice. They walk around like.
I wasn't gonna say anything, man. You're a big guy. I won't talk about anybody's babies like that. You know what I mean?
They walk around like 3 little blow pops. And big old head with a big body.
Juice. It's funny though, because when we first found out, Tua said it that he was going to do judo. Me and Crowder were kind of making fun of it. Like, I said the exact same thing you just said. I wouldn't have said that because it just gives, all the people who are already the critics a little bit more ammunition against Tua. But Mike McDaniel, when he was at the Combine, he joined Florio and Chris Sims on Pro Football Talk, and he changed my whole opinion on this. He said every other position on the football field, they have reps taking hits, right? You're a wide receiver, even in practice, even, when you're not technically taking hits, at some point in practice, you're going to take a hit. And throughout your career, you're constantly taking hits as you're growing up in practice, learning how to fall. But as a quarterback, which Tua's played his entire life, he literally was only getting reps on how to get hit in live game action. Yeah. And that kind of changed my opinion on this whole thing, where he's like, he's right. In practice, he wears the red jersey, never gets touched. Even in games, his whole basis playing the position is avoid getting hit. So he literally never actually learned how to take hits and never had those reps outside of in-game action. And maybe Tua, because of, his stature and him not being Josh Allen or Dan, where, they're 6'4" and they're just big guys. He is a smaller guy. He just never learned properly how to brace himself for a fall. And maybe that has led to some of these injuries and now the concussion. So at least for me, it kind of changed my opinion on it because he does need those reps.
You didn't. Come on, man. Are you serious? How about all these other quarterbacks that all they did was play quarterback? He's not the first quarterback in the NFL, man. You know what I mean? That played quarterback all their lives, and then they all figure out a way to fall. No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like that. I love Coach McDaniel, and I buy into a lot of stuff that he says and talks about. But I don't know about that one. You know, that one's a stretch because they wear that red jersey. Hell, I mean, all of them did for most of their lives. I mean, Lamar Jackson. We was talking about Lamar Jackson. He's not that big of a guy. He's bigger than people think he is. But hell, he knows how to fall. He knows how to take a hit. We don't run Tua like we run some of those other guys. Maybe that's part of it too, man. But I mean, you learn how to fall and get hit in games. I didn't even hear that part. I'd have been tweeting about that if I'd have heard about that.
Solana, what about just playing with his brothers in the backyard at 6? That's when you learn
how in the schoolyard, all that.
Yeah, Solana, you learn how to fall when you're a child. If I push my son down right now, he's not just letting his neck go loose and letting his head bust into the cement. He's 2.
Bracing for impact. That's for sure.
I don't know, man. Mike McDaniel has a way with words. I heard him say it, and I came away like, man, he's so.
He must use some big words, Solana. He caught you up with some big words like mayonnaise, didn't he? He's like saying some stuff like, man, that makes sense right there. That makes sense.
and Juice, but like you said, with the quarterback situation, I believe we're set. I believe what I'm told, and I think they're set. I think I don't think it's Tua and Skyler. Period. I do think they bring in somebody else, correct, but not a big name or a guy to compete with Tua. But other positions, because to be honest, the thing that tickled my fancy was this Derrick Henry. Yeah. If we can put a great running back in this offense as pass heavy first, I think that could be, amazing for Tua and for this offense. But do you think the Dolphins need to go out and spend money on a premier running back? Because, Juice, let's be honest, Myles Gaskins, love him. Salvin Ahmed, Raheem Mostert, we got to say all this. Chase Edmonds, you keep going. Jeff Wilson, I love him. Bro, we do not have an all-pro running back. We haven't had one in years.
Yeah, but a lot of teams don't have one, Channy. You know what I mean? If we can find a way to get the most out of 2 or 3 of those guys, man, I think that's all that matters. It's all it's been by committee nowadays anyways, man. I mean, look what's going on in Dallas, you know what I mean, with Zeke and Pollard and those guys. And, which is crazy. Like you see Zeke, who got the big deal, and then they franchise, Tony. It's like amazing stuff, man. But I think that's the way the game is. Now, the whole key to all these dudes, man, this, how well can we block up front? How can, Zeke and Pollard, they're running behind all pro line still, Can we get our offensive linemen to protect so Tua doesn't get, fall awkwardly? Or can we get them to block and open up some holes for some of these other guys? The problem with, I think, our backs is I thought we had the same type of back, Channy. I thought all those guys were little dudes, couldn't break tackles, couldn't get tough yards. I was surprised they didn't keep one of the bigger backs for some of those situations, and that was I think that was the biggest problem for me, was that these guys, might be a little bit elusive, but if they couldn't get going, then they weren't very tough for us, So we need backs that can actually break up that first tackle, because I mean, some of these running backs don't get touched to the second level. Now that's a hell of I would love that situation, but when you're getting contact or getting stopped a little bit or slowed up in the backfield, our guys had trouble making those tough yards. So I think I like that, a bigger back, a veteran back, but I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of money on it. I don't need a franchise running back, not in this day and age in the NFL, in my opinion.
We're talking with O.J. McDuffie. Again, you can listen to The Fish Tank, him and Seth Levitt. It's one of the best Dolphins podcasts out there, if not the best Dolphins podcast out there right now. So your most recent episode was a tribute to Zach Thomas. We haven't spoken with you since ZT was officially named a Hall of Famer. What was your initial reaction there? Because I heard the episode, I heard the tribute, I heard some of the awesome stories, but just seeing Zach finally get that recognition after, I don't know, like a decade of him getting snubbed constantly by that committee, it must have been, because I know for Crowder, it was a special moment for him. So it must have been one for you as well.
It definitely was, man. ZT is one of my favorite all-time teammates, man. My favorite all-time people in general, and it was tough year after year watching him not get in. But then we just recorded a pod with Joe Horgan from the Hall of Fame. He's been there for 45 years, and he kind of explained how guys like Zach can get pushed, year after year after year, and then finally get in. But you can see the momentum that's being gained by Zach in that room, and it's really strange. I mean, it's one that we recorded it the other day, and it was one of the best episodes that I became more informed about how this whole process works than ever, man. But Zach knew he was going to get in. We all, I think, knew that, but it's a matter of time. And, bottom line is some of these dudes get in, way too late and can't even enjoy the process and enjoy the whole thing. And I think Zach's in at the right time. But how exciting was it, man? And, I got some insider information before the announcement was made. So, me being on the inside kind of helped out a lot. I wanted to tell people, but I couldn't, you know what I mean? So, but I was able to sneak a little text into Zach and congratulate him, man. But I was on the golf course actually when I found out, and I was just so excited for him. So I know how relieved he was, and I know how much it meant to him, even though at times he acted like it didn't, right, Tanny? He's like, yeah, he tried to be Joe Cool about it, man. Zach, those tears with you hugging Jimmy Johnson, that face tells me that you wasn't cool about it for nothing, bro. Don't even try it, man. So yeah, I'm so happy for him, man. Really happy for him.
And Juice, and to don't give us all the episodes because I sure want to watch it. But I've been saying for years, because I've been cussing. I actually cuss out the NFL Hall of Fame or Football Hall of Fame on Twitter. I cuss at him. Pro Football Hall of Fame. You ain't bleep when Zach wouldn't get in. And I told Zach and also Fred Taylor the same way, Juice. Y'all were too perfect. Yeah. Y'all didn't get in no trouble. You didn't dance. You didn't do anything to get attention on yourself other than make plays and do your job. And it's sad to say, Juice, it's not enough just to do your job and make plays and score touchdowns and make tackles. You have to polarize yourself to get the attention of the entire football, landscape. If Zach Thomas would have got locked up 2 or 3 times, he'd have been in the Hall of Fame 10 years ago.
Man, it's possible, yeah, for sure. Or if like you said, if he had danced like JT was a surefire, first ballot guy, yeah. Or if he'd have been on TV, or if he had a radio show. All yes. Those things, always those self-promoting things are the ones that give you that extra boost, you know what I mean, and put you out there. Zach was way quiet afterwards, Fred is still way quiet, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's that you're right, man. It's the self-promotion of a lot of these guys gives them that nod, I think, in the league. You look at, hell, Chris Carter and all those guys, he was telling a story about some of those guys, the Chris Carters, the Andre Reeds, and the Tim Browns, those guys alone, they were all pretty much out at the same time. So it was hard for them to battle, Yeah. So, yeah, there's some really good stuff about how it all goes down and how, you can't put 3 wide receivers in today. You can't put 2 linebackers in last year. You can't put, and so on and so forth. So they look at it and it's like, wow, all right, well, this guy's been waiting a long time. It's really interesting how it all boils down. But, the voters are the ones that make that decision. But, yeah, some of them you just want to shake them a little bit and say, what the hell are you thinking when you don't put Zach in earlier in this? Sure.
O.J. McDuffie, we appreciate you joining the show. Again, check out The Fish Tank. You can subscribe anywhere you get your podcast, him and Seth Levitt. It's always an awesome episode whenever they put one out. Juice, really appreciate you taking the time. If you want to take jiu-jitsu classes with me, let me know because I'm down.
I'm going to take it so I can beat up on Hoch, man, for not showing up two times in a row. You know what I mean? I'm putting him in the 54, Shannon. You know what I mean?
Go get him. Choke him out. I got your back, Juice.
John Bones Jones out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Boy, choked the hell out of that
boy,
man.
Boy, that was filthy, boy.
O.J. McDuffie, thanks again, Juice. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, man. Talk later.